back to CBS Sports HQ. As we hit week 9 of the college football schedule, the season's first playoff rankings are right around the corner, and that means the intensity is ramping up. Just 3 ranked-on-ranked games this week, but they involve 2 of the top 3 teams in the nation, Ohio State and Happy Valley, to face Penn State. The Nittany Lions got run over by Michigan, hoping to rebound here versus Ohio State. Had a big win last week, though. High-flying Tennessee off to their best start since they won the Natty back in 1998. And from potential blowouts to a pick'em between Oklahoma State and Kansas State, Cowboys taking 1.5 from there. All right, let's get some picks. Let's welcome in Jon Berger. Not in his usual surroundings today, John. Where are you?
I'm in Austin, Texas, man. I'm at the University of Texas Business and Sports Institute. I'm in this meeting room right off the corner. We're getting ready to go here, but I'm ready to make some picks, man.
All right. Well, we're going to start with that home field presented by Verbo. And this week, Penn State is going to need that home field at Beaver Stadium if they hope to stand a chance against number 2 Ohio State. Both the Nittany Lions and the Buckeyes are coming off big wins last week. Penn State going with the stripe out this week. John, how tough will this atmosphere be for the Buckeyes?
I just got one question, Jeremy. Like, why would you do the whiteout like last week and now it's a stripe out? Like, I know that, I'm asking a rhetorical question. It just doesn't make sense to me because I think the whiteout at Penn State is one of the coolest traditions ever, but it's going to be a tough environment. Look, you look at Ohio State and Penn State, and these two teams always give you a show. It's not going to be an easy game to get calls in and out of. The thing about this, though, Jeremy, is you got a veteran team in Ohio State that has been there, kind of done it. This is not a young team, so they'll have kind of the logistics figure out of how to handle that. They've been working in that environment the entire week. I just think, Jeremy, in my opinion, when you look at this game, Penn State kind of got shoved around by Michigan. If you remember, I missed that bet. Me and you talked about Penn State and Michigan. I didn't really think Michigan was going to be able to push the Penn State defense around, and they really did. They dominated that game. But you look at them statistically, you look at their body of work, their broader body of work. This is a team that's top 6 in scoring, top 6 in takeaways, top 6 in red zone. So I think they're going to show up. I think this game's going to be tighter than a lot of people think. What gives Ohio State's offense trouble is when you get C.J. Stroud, not necessarily on the ground, but when you move him off his spot. And I think Penn State has the athletes and the scheme to probably go do that. I think Ohio State wins this game. Behind that offense, the defense is getting much better. They're getting healthier. I think Ohio State wins the game. I just think the spread's too much. I'm going to take Ohio State on the money line, take the free money off the table, take Penn State in the points, but I do think there's going to be some points scored. So this is one of those games, Jeremy. I'm going to put 3 separate distinct bets down and try to package it up to maximize the winnings there.
Always maximizing your winnings. OSU's won 5 straight over PSU and 9 of the last 10. Much closer line, John, between number 9 Oklahoma State and number 22 Kansas State. Wildcats given a 1.5 there, with that total sitting at close to 60 points. What's your lean here?
Yeah. I'll tell you that somebody knows something, Jeremy, and it's not me and you, because I look at this line and keep in mind, I was on the sideline last week in Fort Worth watching TCU play K-State. I wanted to go down there and put eyes on both teams. What I walked away with is TCU was faster than I thought they were. And I can tell you from being on the sidelines, K-State is a big football team. This looks like a Michigan or an Ohio State. Maybe not across the board, but these guys are physical and they're a lot bigger than I expected. I don't understand the line. And I tried to figure it out, and I don't have a good explanation for it. What I can tell you is K-State's a run-heavy offense. What I don't understand is Adrian Martinez, the quarterback, went down last week, never came back into the game. K-State's offense sputtered. Let's assume he's healthy or somewhat healthy. He can even play. He's still going to be nicked up. So I don't understand this. I mean, this guy makes this offense go. You can see his rankings in terms of running the football, his attempts, his rush yards, his production. The guy's a phenomenal athlete, but he's going to be nicked up. The other thing I'll tell you is K-State wants to get you in that game. They want a slow start. They want a game that bogs down. They kind of want to turn it into a game where field position or turnovers or special teams, all these intangibles kind of come into play. And if they turn you into that kind of game, they got you. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't understand the number. I'm going to take Oklahoma State. This team can get the ball downfield. I think they can attack K-State where they're weak, especially between the hashes. Don't really get the spread, but in this situation, I'm going to go with Oklahoma State. I'm going to take the points. But this is going to be a closer game than I think anybody expected. I wouldn't even surprise me if this thing went into overtime. That's how closely matched these two teams are.
It is a big game for both teams. I mean, the winner here puts themselves in the best position to meet TCU in the Big 12 title game potentially. Tennessee looking to go to 8-0 as they revel in their best season since they won the national championship in 1998. They're favored by a dozen here, John, in their game. Hard to bet against them at this point at home, isn't it?
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I think you saw me turn the corner and take that big old cup of orange Kool-Aid and swat. Look, I'm a fan of Hooker, and we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago. Nobody was really giving this guy the credit that I think he was due then. You're starting to see him jump up in that Heisman conversation. When they beat Alabama, the whole deal changed, right? So I'm a big believer in what they're doing offensively. We talked about one of their keys is kind of always coming out, that one of the better teams in the country getting a fast start so they don't get bogged down. I'm going to take Tennessee to cover this number, although it's bigger than I really like, but I'm going to take the over. And what I think is going to happen here is UK has averaged about 23 points a game in conference. I think that's about what they hit here. I just think they're going to get in a shootout with Tennessee. And I don't think that they're going to be able to hang with Tennessee. Tennessee's having kind of one of those magical seasons. You got Hendon Hooker at the quarterback position, makes good decisions, doesn't do a lot of dumb things with the football. And you can see the FBS rank in terms of their points per game and total yards per game. This offense hasn't really come off that average. They've been good all season. This is not an anomaly. On top of that, they're home. I don't like how big it is, but I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of a smaller bet and take them to cover those points. But I'm also going to take the over because I think both teams can combine to get over that hump.
This is the first time these two teams have played each other with both of them ranked since 1951. Our SEC game of the week in Jacksonville, Florida and Georgia clash. The Bulldogs favored by more than 3 touchdowns in this one. That's a lot of points to give away, John, at a neutral venue game. What's the play for you?
This one I'm a smaller bet, rivalry game, neutral venue. I think Vegas is I think Vegas is trying to cook something up to make up for a couple losses in the last 2 weeks. I don't want anything to do with this other than the under. These two teams, you put them on paper in a rivalry game. It's kind of like Texas OU, Ohio State, Michigan. These kind of games, you can kind of take the stats, the athletics, the analytics, and kind of just set them aside. I think you're going to see some unexpected plays. You'll see a key turnover, a special teams play, or a kickoff return. That's the way all these games kind of play out, these rivalry games. I just think the number's too big. Georgia is clearly the better team, so take the money line. Doesn't matter what it is. Take the free money off the table. The only concern I have for Georgia is they just kind of got bogged down with Kent State and Missouri, because I was considering taking the over here, but this is an offense that can get bogged down. But at the end of the day, just be smart here. Take the money off the table. Take the under. I think you'll be in good shape.
Georgia's won 4 of the last 5 meetings, including winning 34-7 last year. If that holds, they would definitely cover the number. All right, lastly, John, give us a big parlay to try and cash in on this week.
Well, I cooked up a pretty good one here. I think we're going to get up around a 6,000 plus 6,000 return. But Jeremy, this is all we need to happen. We need Missouri plus 4.
This is all we need to happen.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is all we need to happen, buddy. It's not that complex of an equation. Look, like BYU minus 3, we feel good there. I think Ohio State covers. Eastern Michigan plus 6.5. That one's a little bit wobbly. I know A&M's wobbly, but they're good in bounce back games, and I think A&M is kind of on the ropes in terms of their season. I like Pittsburgh plus 3. And then, Jeremy, we just got to wrap it up with UCLA, Houston, and Florida hitting the money line. Other than that, that's all we really need to happen, buddy, and we're plus 6,000.
Yeah, and winning $1,500 on a $25 bet. John, if you had any more teams on there, we'd have to go to a page 2. The graphics only hold the 10 teams. So
trust me, that was like an hour last night. It's my best thinking, buddy.
That is a big one. He is CBS Sports HQ wagering analyst Jon Berger. John, I'll see you Saturday morning for the college football pregame show for more picks and plays. And we spoke to Brad Nessler earlier in the week about the SEC Game of the Week on CBS. He's excited for this one. He's excited to see a guy in a recliner, motorized, a little scooter thing he's got going with a cooler on the back. I mean, it's going to be all kinds of fun. He's going to be on the call with Gary Danielson and Jenny Dell when this one gets rolling at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. You can also stream our SEC Game of the Week on Paramount Plus.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.